Do you ever avoid making goals because you don't want to fail one more time? Especially when it comes to New Year's resolutions, you're like, sure, I'm just gonna do an intention instead. Do you wanna build lasting habits to be able to meet your goals that actually will stick? In this video, I'm gonna show you 3 ways to build lasting habits. The one thing that is going to help simplify the brain garbage going on inside. I'm also gonna put a link in the description below for a Get It Done challenge. It can really tackle that one thing that's been draining your energy to have you accomplish and get something done that you never otherwise would. I just attended a kickboxing class the other day, and one of the other participants said, "Oh, New Year's resolutions, so out. Intentions in." I was like, wait, are you saying that's a backdoor to actually achieving goals? Don't get me wrong, intentions have their place. You know, we as a family ask before a trip, what's your intention for having a good time? Because we all have different ideas. And if we don't ask this question, many different outcomes. Or we ask, what's your intention before a very important client meeting? And yes, absolutely, I still do an intention or theme for the year, but that doesn't mean I gotta skip the goals or habits that come with it and commit to something specific that I'm gonna create or manifest. So I've noticed the trend, articles online of why resolutions don't work. And essentially it's boiled down to because we feel fear of failure. Again, right? We don't want to put ourselves on the line or go public with saying what we're going to accomplish and then not. It's just embarrassing. But that's just resignation, and we don't want to let that stop us. So are you someone that has quit before you even started? You have the idea and you're like, either you justify it away, you're too busy, whatever reason it is, because you just don't want to fail again. But you can't be allergic to goals. So whether you fear failing at it or not, goals have extremely valuable tools. The problem is how people have been using it has been in this very unsustainable grind, hustle, way. And there's ways to do it in a very much more effortless way. So number 1, less is more. Usually for the year, I have about 5 categories of life. So usually it's finances, business, it could be family, leisure, health. And I have one on just spirituality and consciousness because that's a big focus for me. So in each of those areas, I then have like 5 specific measurable goals. Typically have it. Sometimes it's just a result or a goal. And that's it. And I look at it every day. And I've been doing that for, I don't know, decades, like a while. And I hit them. I usually meet 60 to maybe 80%. But I had this new mentor who devised this audacious thing of just 3. I was like, just 3 goals? Like across all categories. I mean, I was like, 3? But then my mind started thinking, oh my gosh, all that energy I normally have elsewhere into just the 3, I'm gonna crush it. Anyway, I decided to take the leap and I just have 3. So the second, be consistent. The tortoise wins the race over the hare, etc. And yeah, we can know that, but like really, how do we do that? So often if we think we're being consistent, then we expect progress. And the expectations are often right on the back of being consistent. I have tested this. It's not 21 days, I've done that a million times and the habit does not stick. It's not 67 days, done that several times. It doesn't necessarily stick. I've done things for 100 days, I've done things for 6 months, and I revert back. Like it doesn't become an unconscious habit. It takes effort still. It's not as hard, but it takes effort. And the hardest part is when you get to that point where you're like, I've got this, I've been good. That is the worst trap. Because at that point is when you falter. It's not when it's hard. When you're like desperate, that is the easiest time to build the habit. It is when you think all things are well and you get complacent and you are like, oh, just one time, not a big deal. That breaks the record. But anyway, so I don't like this days thing. I don't find that it works, honestly, necessarily to make it an unconscious habit. Sure, I'm sure for some things there's exceptions, but instead, let's just focus and shift our mindset to stages. So stage 1 is simply where you make it a lifestyle and you can do, again, like tiny little thing, just touch something. So in business, maybe you want to do a YouTube once a week. just make sure that you're working on that YouTube daily. Just like touch it. Sometimes it might just be a minute or 5 minutes, but others it'll be an hour, 2 hours. So you just touch it after those first maybe 60, 70 days, 90 days, 2-3 months. Then you can start to ratchet it up to something like, okay, I'm going to make a video a week and work towards that versus it more free-flowing. But you'll just feel better after you've touched it at least for that long, because in your mind, your brain does its thing and it's predicting what behavior habits you're going to do based on the sensory experience and the past experiences. So then you're feeding it, oh yeah, I trust myself. Number one, I do this every day, and it's just like eating, and it's just not a thing. So that's stage 1. Then stage 2, again, is where you can start to notice progress, maybe bring back expectations. I'm going to stop expecting anything from being consistent. Just enjoy the process, the lifestyle, touching it each day, kind of consistency for the first stage. Then you can move on to stage 2, where you might want to expect and notice more progress. However, in the compound effect by Darren Hardy, if someone wants to lose weight and 3 people, one person just does cuts those 10 calories a day. It's like a piece of bread or whatever. Another one doesn't care and, it's just 10 calories and eats that many more a day. And then the other one does nothing and is just keeping the same amount. And you don't really notice difference, is the point, over even 6 months, over even a year, even 18 months. It's kind of like negligible, the difference of that tiny calorie count or cut. But then in about a year and a half, about 2 years, is where it goes whoosh, and there's exponential growth, either negative, positive, or nothing, staying stuck and stagnant. So even being consistent, you're not going to notice necessarily a difference. If there is something to expect no difference or no progress from your consistency, which that's the hardest part, right? That's why you have to fall in love with the process of consistency. The last step here is that tiny counts. And by tiny, I mean the thing that you're touching needs to be super tiny. So for example, when I was songwriting last year, I'm just gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch the piano, touch the lyrics, just touch it each day. And in that first stage allowed me to just start to build a lifestyle and get acclimated into the thing I'm doing versus expect myself to practice 30 minutes a day or churn out a song a day or some sort of pressure, some deadline thing. Most habits fail because the action that they want to take consistently is way too big. And I have done that many a time. And so it's all good if things are going smooth, but more than half the time, the unexpected is happening, if not all the time, throwing off your routine, making it hard to do a bigger action step that you promise to do consistently. But if you take a teeny tiny one that takes like less than a minute, you are more likely to do that no matter what chaos or things are happening around you, no matter what unexpected things, whether bigger things like, oh my gosh, I got to caretake my parent all the time now. It's completely overturned my daily ritual to, oh my gosh, my kid just like is having a breakdown. How can I help them or whatever, right? Or my husband. I'm like, I can tell I speak from experience. My husband suddenly is working 24/7 or is on call and waking up in the middle of the night multiple times a day, or, has to do this around the clock thing for this big push for 10, 12 weeks on end. I have to be a single mom. Whatever it is, if you do that one tiny thing every single day. So if you're working out, that tiny thing, no kidding, could be 1 push-up a day. Now, obviously that is not going to get you super strong, but it actually might, because what happens is you're like, oh, let's do 1 more. But sometimes you can only do 1 and you still get to check the box off that you did it. When I started meditating, right, I just said I have to sit. I have to sit twice a day. Maybe it's just for a minute for one of the sits, but that counts. And that's how I started, right? And now I'm at a point where I'm almost at 2 hours a day. I do an hour in the morning pretty dang consistently. The evening one is the tough one for me, so I had to start small, like, okay, just 10 minutes or just sit. To recap, number 1, less is more. Just make less goals. 2, consistency without expectation of progress. 3, tiny habits. Make it a lifestyle. Just touch it each day. And when you're able to do that, voila, momentum is on your side. Voila, you're integrity with yourself and knowing you can do what you say is with you. And then exponential results are bound to happen. I'll put a link in the chat below to that Get It Done challenge that we're starting. So excited. It's going to be amazing.